Good afternoon, Sierra Vista parents. I hope you're well. Uh, I would like to introduce myself again to you in case I am a new face for you. I am Ms. Palicio. I am the Title I coordinator here on campus. And today, Ms. Garibay is going to grace us with a presentation regarding student support and progress teams that we hold here at school. Take it away, Ms. Garibay.
Thank you, Ms. Felicio. Good afternoon, parents. So I just wanted to briefly go over a process that we follow here at Sierra Vista, and it's actually a district-wide process. So all the schools in LAUSD follow the process. You may have heard of it. It's called the Student Support and Progress Team. And for short, we usually refer to it as an SSPT. So you may have received a call from me or from Ms. Palizo or from Ms. Arias, letting you know that you're going to be having an SSPT meeting for your child. And this is what I'm going to go over with you today, just giving you a little bit more information about what the process is and what we do here at Sierra Vista. So first and foremost, the SSPT is a systematic process of interventions, and it's designed to ensure student success. It emphasizes early intervention as a key factor in reducing achievement disparities. Here you see a flow map of the process of the SSPT. So we start by monitoring school-wide. So Ms. Arias, Ms. Palicio, myself, as well as all the teachers here on campus, we're constantly monitoring the students and making sure that they're on target, they're where they should be. But if at any time something happens and they're not where they should be, any staff member can refer any student to the SSPT process. And it could be both for academic reasons, for behavior reasons, for social emotional reasons as well. So a staff member will make the referral, will hold a meeting, and we will invite you. Right now, we've been using a lot of Class Dojo, so make sure you're checking your Class Dojo for any messages. If we can't reach your Class Dojo, we will either send you a written letter or we'll even call home. We'll hold the meeting, and after the meeting, we'll talk about the students' strengths and weaknesses, and we develop an action plan. The action plan is put forth. We implement all the interventions for a cycle. The teachers progress monitor, they give assessments, they see how the students are doing, and then we have a follow-up meeting to discuss the next steps. And the reason that we do the SSPT process is because by research, it has been shown that 80% of students will do better with targeted interventions. So that's what we strive for most of our students. And we do see it here where the majority of our students with those targeted interventions, they do better. But there are a few students that don't. And we have a plan for that when that happens. And we call them tier support. So we have different tiers of support. So now I'm gonna go over what those mean. So tier one is for everyone. So everyone in their classrooms, they receive core instruction from their teacher. So it could be, for example, their regular reading block that they get. That's their core instruction. Everyone receives that. They receive support for that. The teacher assesses. If the teacher sees that the student is not making adequate progress with that tier one support, then we move them to a tier two support. A tier two support is for students who did not respond well to the tier one supports. So what happens then is the students still receive their core instruction, but then we add something else, whatever it is that their need is. If their need is in ELA or in math, we add that extra support. We also add more time or frequency. So here on the slide, you see an example. They get their core support plus 30 minutes a day, 2 or 3 times a week of intervention. That would be a tier two support. The teacher delivers the intervention, they progress monitor. If the teacher sees they're still not making adequate progress, then we move on to a tier three support. In The tier 3 support is for students who haven't shown adequate progress with tier 1s or tier 2 interventions. So here we're providing the core instruction still, we're adding some more intervention based on their area of need, and the frequency of the intervention also increases. So for example, an example could be 30 minutes every day now for a tier 3 support. Sometimes, depending on the students, their area of need, for every student, the plan is going to be different, but they may also be pulled out of their classroom. That would be considered a tier 3 support for our learning center, which is run by Ms. Palicio. So those are all types of supports that we provide here for students, tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 supports. So after a cycle is about 6 to 8 weeks of intervention. And during that cycle, we're constantly progress monitoring them, making sure that what we're doing is working. For example, the progress monitoring, the frequency of it for a tier 2 could be every other week. For a tier 3, again, everything is dependent on the student. It could be on a weekly basis or also every other week. After we collect the data, the cycle of intervention is done, we meet again. And that is called the follow-up SSPT meeting. So at the follow-up SSPT meeting, the teacher presents the data, how the students are doing, and then we decide what we're going to do next. What are going to be the next steps? So some of the options could be that we modify the intervention. Maybe we want to add a different program that might work better for the student. Maybe we want to change the goal. Maybe we set the goal too high for that student. Maybe we want to modify their goal. Maybe we want to change the duration or the frequency of the intervention. Maybe the student is making adequate progress and we want to continue the same intervention. That could be an option. Another option that we could do is we could adjust the level of tier support. We could review and consider a section 5 or 4 plan. If there's some type of medical need or a disability, we could consider a 504 plan. Or if the student is making adequate progress, at that time, we could decide they're going to exit the SSPT process. And lastly, I just wanted to clarify the difference between an SSPT and an IEP. An IEP stands for an individualized educational plan. And this plan is under the umbrella of special education. So the SST, sometimes parents confused because we have so many acronyms here at LAUSD that they're easily confused. So an SSPT process is for all students in general education and for students in special education. But an IEP is solely for students who receive special educational supports. But the SSTP process does not mean that it's going to lead to an IEP. It does not mean that it's going to lead to special education. And SSPT, what it is, there are interventions for students who show some academic needs, some behavioral needs, or some social emotional needs. And this is how we here at Sierra Vista are targeting the needs of the students. But if you have any questions, you'd like more information about the SSPT process, you can visit our LAUSD website at achieve.lausd.net/SSPT. And if you go into that website, it will give you a lot more detailed information about the SSPT process, the tier supports that I talked about today. It even gives some instructional strategies that you might be able to use at home as well to support your child. But and also you could also reach out to me. Our leadership team here at Sierra Vista is Ms. Arias, Ms. Palicio, Ms. Garibay. So you can reach out to any one of us anytime if you have any questions, any concerns about how your child is doing, either academically, behaviorally, or social emotionally, and know that we have a plan. We'll definitely have a plan for them. Parents could also request an SSPT at any time if you feel that there's a need for it. Okay. So I would like to thank you for your time. Thank you, Ms. Palicio, for organizing this meeting. And feel free to reach out if you have any questions.
Thank you so much, Ms. Garibay, and thank you, parents, for taking the time to view this video and inform yourselves regarding the SSPTs here at Sierra Vista. All right. Bye.
And